Hey, welcome to Rust Revival Garage. My name is Tim. Wanted to talk a little bit about some news that came out this week, and that is that the Hot Rod Power Tour 2025 is on. So yeah, good news. Another 5 days, another big trip in the summer. Hot rods, 10,000 cars all going all at once from city to city, raceway to raceway, that kind of thing. It's going to be very exciting. I did my very first one last year, and I had a lot of fun. The other great news is this one is actually fairly close to me again. I live in Ohio. This one starts in Indy and ends up in Ohio, which is very, very cool. I'll kind of go into the schedule a little bit. But I did want to just announce this because I know with the whole Motor Trend thing, with them shutting down series and Freiberger and all those guys talking about how that their shows have been canceled, a lot of people weren't sure if the Hot Rod Power Tour was even going to happen. Motor Trend is associated with it, I think. I'm not sure who owns Hot Rod Magazine. Maybe you can tell me below down in the comments. But I think that there were a lot of people thinking, hey, is this going to happen this year? And so, yeah, I definitely wanted to say it is going to happen. You can get your tickets now. In fact, I just purchased my long hauler tickets for this year. It's coming up in June, 5 days, and it's going to be the 31st annual Power Tour, which I think is very cool. 31 years. Again, I just did my first one last year. This year, however, I'm going to be taking my 1968 Pontiac Le Mans, fingers crossed. That is the plan. So that means I have less than maybe about 6 months to get that car ready to go on a 1,500 mile trip. So if you can, subscribe to the channel and follow along with me. I'm just getting ready to finish up the wiring and test it, start it up for the first time again this year, and again, test it out, get all the things done I needed to get done, and be able to take this trip on the tour. So let's talk a little bit about the tour. So again, it's going to be a 5-day trip. There are going to be 3 drag race events and 2 fairground events where there is no drag racing, basically. They're going to start out in Indianapolis at the Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park, which is just outside of Indy in Brownsburg, Indiana. That'll be day 1. That's the day where you go and you pick up the credentials and you do all of the things. You get set up, and then the first day is going to be at that location. And then from that point, we're going to take off to go to Joliet, Illinois. We're going to head north up to Joliet, and that's going to be at the Route 66 Raceway. And there's going to be drag racing at that event as well. So that's day 2, Joliet, Illinois. Day 3, it's going to be going over to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I think it's called the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. So that's going to be in Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's going to be day 3. There's not going to be any drag racing there. Day 4, same thing, no drag racing, but we're going to head east over into Michigan, and it's going to be at the Monroe County Fairgrounds on Thursday. So that's it. It's going to go from Indy to Illinois, back to Indiana, over to Michigan, and then day number 5 is going to be back in Ohio for me, and it's going to be at Norwalk, Ohio. Now, Norwalk is the Summit Motorsports Park, and there's going to be drag racing on that day as well. I'm actually familiar with Norwalk because I've gone to the Pontiac Nationals 2 years in a row. You can catch my videos down in my timeline. But I've gone there 2 years in a row for the Pontiac Nationals. And I think that's very cool because that is a great, great drag strip. It's so cool to be able to film all the drag racing and see all of the events. And there's lots of parking. And yeah, I think that's going to be a really cool one to end up on, which is kind of exciting too, because then like they did, they're starting at Indiana where they ended the Power Tour last year. So that means that they're going to be starting it maybe in Ohio next year. Who knows? Because they usually start where they ended it the previous year. Anyway, I hope that happens. But anyway, I kind of wanted to let you know it's very cool because I'm hoping to get my Pontiac ready to go. I've got a backup plan B, they call it, with my truck, which is what I took last year, my 85 C10. I can take that again, no problem. That thing was a champion, absolute champion. So I know I've got a backup plan. But I'm going to really hustle to try to get that ready. I also kind of want to meet a bunch of people maybe that I didn't get to catch last year. Didn't really get to see everybody that I wanted to see, but you're always driving around. But this time, like I said, I got my tickets very early because they are selling out. I've already seen that the Gold VIP pack has sold out for the long hauls. So if you're interested in going on the Power Tour for the first time or going again, get your tickets soon. Because I think there was so much interest last year and things were sold out last year. I think people are going to start buying quickly, and there may not be anything, other than maybe some single day tickets by the time it gets here. So anyway, Power Tour is coming up. I'm excited. I hope I can maybe even meet some people out there that maybe happen to watch my channel. I'd love to run into you guys or girls and say hi. But yeah, that's the Power Tour. Leave me a comment down below if you're going to go or if you have any questions. Check out just do a Google search for Hot Rod Power Tour 2025 for more information. Subscribe if you can. I've already mentioned that. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.